Before you stand up from your chair today, stop, just for 10 seconds. Because most seniors are making one small mistake every single time they stand up, and that one mistake is quietly destroying your hips. The good news? There is something you can do, right now, before you even leave your seat, that can start to fix this. And we are going to show you exactly what it is. Stay with us. This might be the most useful thing you watch today. Welcome back. If you are 60 or older, and your hips hurt when you stand up, walk, or even just sit for too long, you are not alone, and you are not imagining it. Millions of seniors deal with hip pain every single day, but very few people understand what is actually causing it. Today we are going to explain it simply. We will tell you what happens inside your hip every time you stand up the wrong way. We will show you the one thing you must do before standing, and we will walk you through 5 simple movements, done right from your chair, that can bring real relief, fast. No equipment, no gym, no getting on the floor, just your chair, and 5 minutes. And please stay until the end, because the very last tip is something almost no one talks about, but it makes everything else work better. Let's get into it. First, let us understand what is going on. Your hip is a ball and socket joint. The round top of your thigh bone, the ball, sits inside a cup-shaped socket in your pelvis. When everything works well, this joint moves smoothly, like a well-oiled door hinge. But when you sit for a long time, something important happens. The muscles around your hip, especially the ones at the front, they tighten up, they get short, they get stiff, they grip. Think of a rubber band that has been folded in half for an hour. When you try to stretch it out again, it resists, it pulls, it hurts. That is exactly what your hip muscles are doing after sitting. Now, when you stand up quickly, without preparing those tight muscles, you are forcing that stiff rubber band to stretch all at once, and the hip joint gets pulled in the wrong direction. That is where the pain comes from, not from the joint itself most of the time, from the tight, unprepared muscles around it. This is very important to understand, because it means the fix is not surgery. It is not strong painkillers. The fix is simply preparing the muscles before you ask them to work, and that is exactly what we are going to teach you. But first, many people don't know this. There is one specific muscle that causes more hip pain than any other. Deep inside your hip, there is a muscle called the iliopsoas. We will just call it the hip flexor, much easier. This muscle connects your lower spine to the top of your thigh bone. Its job is to lift your leg when you walk, to help you stand up, to keep you upright. It is one of the hardest working muscles in your entire body. But here is the problem. The hip flexor is also the muscle that tightens the most when you sit. Every hour you spend sitting, this muscle is slowly shortening, contracting, getting tighter. And when it gets too tight, it pulls on 2 things at once. It pulls on the lower back, and it pulls on the hip joint. This is why so many seniors have both hip pain and lower back pain at the same time. They feel like 2 separate problems, but very often, they have the same cause, one tight muscle. Many people don't know this, but simply releasing this one muscle can bring relief to both areas. And you can start doing that right now, from your chair. But before the exercises, let us talk about the one thing you must do before you ever stand up. Because if you skip this step, nothing else will work as well. Rule: before you stand up from any chair, sofa, car seat, or bed, do not just push yourself up and go. Instead, take 10 seconds first. Here is what to do in those 10 seconds. Step 1. Move to the edge of your seat. Slide forward until your bottom is near the front of the chair. Step 2. Place both feet flat on the floor, hip width apart, not crossed, not tucked under the chair. Step 3. Take one slow, deep breath. Breathe in through the nose. Breathe out through the mouth. Step 4. Lean slightly forward from the hips, not from the back. Think of your nose moving toward your knees, just a little. Step 5. Now push up, using your legs, not just your arms. That is it. 10 seconds. This small preparation does something very important. It gently wakes up the hip muscles before you ask them to carry your full body weight. It reduces the sudden jerk that strains the joint, and it lowers your risk of dizziness when standing, which we talked about in our last video. This one habit, done every single time, can reduce hip pain significantly within just a few weeks. Now let us move to the 5 chair exercises. These are gentle, they are safe, and they are very effective. Sit up straight in your chair, both feet flat on the floor. Now, slowly lift your right knee up toward your chest, just a few inches, as far as is comfortable. Now make a slow, gentle circle with that knee, going outward, like you are drawing a small circle in the air. Do this 5 times in one direction, then 5 times the other way. Then put that foot down and switch to the left knee. This exercise gently wakes up the hip joint. It brings warm blood into the area. It loosens the tight muscles around the socket. Think of it as warming up the door hinge before you open the door. Many people feel less stiffness after just 1 minute of this. Do this every morning before you get out of bed or off the couch. Let's move to the second one. Sit near the edge of your chair, back straight. Now, using both hands, gently hold your right knee. Pull it slowly toward your chest, just until you feel a gentle stretch in your hip and the back of your thigh. Hold it there for 10 seconds. Breathe normally. Then slowly lower the foot back to the floor. Now do the same with the left knee. That is 1 round. Do 3 rounds on each side. This stretch targets the hip flexor, that tight muscle we talked about. You are gently asking it to lengthen, to let go. Many seniors say this is the one that gives the most relief, fast. And this is very common in older age. The hip flexor tightens without people realizing it. This exercise is the antidote. Sit up straight, both feet flat. Now place your right ankle on top of your left knee, like a figure 4 shape. Sit up tall. Now very gently, with one hand, press down on the right knee, just lightly, no forcing. You should feel a gentle stretch on the outside of your right hip. Hold for 15 seconds. Breathe slowly, then switch sides. This targets a different group of hip muscles, the ones on the outer side. These often get tight from walking, climbing stairs, or sleeping on one side. If this feels too tight and you cannot lift your ankle fully, that is perfectly fine. Just rest your foot as high as is comfortable. Even just crossing the ankles works to start. Over time, it will get easier, and the hip will feel much looser. Sit back slightly in your chair now, both feet on the floor. Slowly slide your right foot forward, along the floor, until your leg is almost straight. Then slide it back, nice and slow, like you are painting the floor with the bottom of your foot. Do this 10 times on the right, then 10 times on the left. This exercise works the hip joint through its full range of movement, but gently, with no weight on it. It is like oiling a hinge slowly. It also strengthens the muscles around the hip, which helps the joint feel more stable and less painful over time. This one is safe even for people with knee problems, because the foot is sliding, not bending the knee hard. This is the last one, and it is the most important for long-term results. Sit up straight, feet flat on the floor. Now slowly lift your right knee up, like you are marching in place, and then place it back down. Then lift the left, then back down. Nice and controlled, no rushing. Do 20 steps total, 10 on each side. Why is this so important? Because this exercise trains the hip flexor and all the muscles around the hip to move in a controlled, safe way. It builds strength, and strength is what protects the hip joint. Think of the muscles around your hip like a team of bodyguards for the joint. When the bodyguards are strong, the joint is protected. It does not hurt as much. It does not wear down as quickly. When the muscles are weak, the joint takes all the load, and it gets painful. Seated marching builds those bodyguards back up. Do this every day, even just once a day, and you will notice a difference within 2 to 3 weeks. Now, we promised you one last tip at the end, something almost no one talks about, and it is very simple. Here it is. Water. That is it. Drink more water. Now you might be thinking, what does water have to do with my hip? Here is the answer. Inside your hip joint, there is something called synovial fluid. Think of it as the oil inside the hinge. This fluid keeps the bones from rubbing against each other. It cushions every step, every movement, every time you stand up. And this fluid is made mostly of water. When you are dehydrated, even a little, this fluid becomes thicker, stickier, less smooth. The joint gets more friction, more stiffness, more pain. Many seniors are mildly dehydrated most of the day, without knowing it, because the sense of thirst weakens with age. 6 to 8 glasses of water a day, that is all. This one thing can reduce joint stiffness in ways that surprise people. Combine it with the 5 exercises we just showed you, and the before standing rule, and you have a complete, simple daily routine that costs nothing. Before we finish, let us say this clearly. Hip pain is very common after 60. It does not mean your body is broken. It means your muscles need a little more care than they did when you were younger. That is all. And the good news is, muscles respond. They can get stronger. They can get more flexible. Even in your 70s, even in your 80s. The exercises we showed you today are gentle. They are safe. They do not require getting on the floor. You can do them in your pajamas, in your kitchen chair, while watching TV. But please, if your hip pain is severe, or if you have had a fall, or if the pain does not improve after a few weeks of gentle movement, please see your doctor. Some hip pain does need medical attention. Do not ignore it for too long. Let us quickly go over everything we covered today. The 10-second rule before standing up. Always prepare the muscles first. The hip flexor, the tight muscle most people have never heard of that causes most of the pain. And your 5 chair exercises. 1. Hip circles, to warm up the joint. 2. Knee pulls, to release the hip flexor. 3. Hip opens, for the outer hip muscles. 4. Heel slides, to oil the joint gently. 5. Seated marching, to build the muscles that protect the joint. And the bonus tip, drink more water. Keep the joint fluid healthy. If this video helped you, please share it with someone who struggles with hip pain, a friend, a parent, a neighbor. It costs nothing to share, and it might save them months of pain. Hit the like button if you want more simple health tips like this, and subscribe, because we post new videos every week, made just for you. Thank you so much for watching. Take care of those hips. Stand up slowly. Drink your water. We will see you in the next one.